taking the finish line. Good run coming. Hurry, hurry. I mean the horses. MaddiKempf.
Hey guys, welcome to Barrel Racer Life. My name is Maddi-Stoltman. So again, this week we have been staying home, so not the most exciting around here. But I've been riding the horses a lot, and I found it was kind of hard to stay motivated. But I've been really focusing on my mindset and realizing that being around horses is what makes me happy and keeps my mood in a good space. So I've been trying to encourage myself to go out there and ride horses as much as possible, and it's been really awesome. I've had a great time riding and doing different drills, and we have a round pen now, so I'm having a really good time with the round pen. So I'll show you guys a little bit about here this past week. Okay, Jada. She's getting a little aggressive with the feeder. It's you, Quincy, all cleaned up. Figured it was bath day for Miss Quincy. It's really nice out today. Right, Mama? I saddle him first. Usually ride him last and leave him tied up for a little while. He's not the most patient guy, so it's good for him. And then I got these guys over here. Quincy's drying off from her bath. These boys are getting ready to go. I can't get her back up far enough. Look at that pretty halter. Oh, finally trying it on. You look so pretty. So I'm going to show you a little behind the scenes of what I do with my horses. So I just recently got a round pen. I've wanted one my whole life. Cody's put one in for me and I freaking love it. I'm so excited to have it. The thing with bitting a horse up, and what that means is that you're going to put the bit in their mouth and then you're going to tie the reins up in some way and then encourage them to move forward around the round pen. It's kind of can be almost like a controversial training thing. And I think because people have some misconceptions about it, and maybe is that it is forceful or whatever, but here's my view on it. So if I want to encourage a horse to be able to bend either direction or encourage them to round up and bring their head down and then round their back up, if I'm doing that on their back, I'm basically saving my hands and they're learning to give to pressure on their own. So the idea of tying them up in whatever way you may find suitable for the horse is to encourage them that when they resist against it, it tightens, and then when they start to give to the pressure, then they find their release. So you'll see it with my horses. I'm kind of putting myself out there a little bit because I know someone's gonna say, oh, there's a better way to do this, or you're doing it wrong, or this is how I do it, and that's awesome. However, this is how I've learned, and this is what I find works for me and my horses. There is different ways to do it, yes. And the thing that's really cool is that for me to show you a little bit of passport and hot sauce right now, in a month from now, even tied in the same position, they're going to carry themselves differently. So someone said to me, I posted a video on Instagram, and they said, well, can't you see your horse is uncomfortable? And I was going to reply, and I went, you know, I'm not going to bother. Because here's the thing, it's like when we start going to the gym, okay, if you start lifting weights, yes, you're going to be a little uncomfortable, but a few weeks of lifting the same weight, it's not going to be so hard in time, am I right? So it's kind of the same thing when you're working a horse in the round pen. So yeah, they might be a little bit uncomfortable, and it's going to be kind of take them a little bit to understand the movement, and it's not going to feel natural for them at first. But like I said, a month from now, if I show you the same horses tied in the exact same position, they're going to look completely different and carry themselves different. So it's kind of cool, but I'll show you guys a little bit of what I do with them in the round pen. I've really enjoyed having Passport in the round pen because he's actually kind of funny. He's sort of a quiet moving, like he doesn't really have a lot of forward movement kind of horse, and he's a bit lazy, and I feel like to get him to pick up his feet and move has been kind of difficult. He also doesn't feel super balanced even at the lope. You know, he just doesn't really have the easiest time carrying his body. So I found having him in the round pen has been really good because he's able to sort of learn how to move properly without me on his back to throw him off balance. So this has been a really, really good tool for him.
I'm pretty sure Hot Sauce thinks this is playtime while we're in here. So you can see a big difference in how he moves versus Passport. He kind of has a little bit more of a fluid movement, and kind of it's more of a natural thing for him. He's got a lot of natural ability and talent, and he likes to mess with me in here. He is a little brat, and you see his naughty side come out a lot, especially in the round pen, but I'm kind of glad that he gets it out while he's in the round pen versus when I crawl on his back. So I will have them a little bit more bent to the inside, but you want to have pressure on both reins because the outside rein is going to encourage them to bring their head down, whereas the inside rein being turned in a little bit has encouraged them to kind of look to the inside of the circle. But that being said, I also feel like they need to go both directions, so you'll kind of have a counter arc circle, so to speak. So you will have them roll back on the fence and change directions, and that's going to encourage them that they can also use their body looking outside the circle as well. So you're just working on different parts of body and shoulder control by doing that. Something else I'll say about the round pen thing too, I don't claim to be an expert in this. I'm kind of learning as I go, and it's sort of been a did you hear Buster grunting? It's been some trial and error and asking a lot of questions. So my friend Callie is really good at the round penning, and then my friend Chelsea is an amazing trainer as well. So I've asked them a lot of questions, sent them videos, they sent me videos. So don't be afraid to ask for help. There's nothing wrong with asking for help at all. You're going to learn a lot. It's going to be one of those things that kind of doing it is going to help you learn a little bit as well. But make sure to ask for help so that you know the best way to do that and be able to help your horse in the best way possible. So this is something that's a little bit different that you can do around the barrels, and kind of a handy little drill, if you will. So here I'm riding Passport, and I'll kind of come around the barrel a few times, and then I'll ask him to counter arc away. He was getting a little bit too close to the barrel and wanting to move closer to it. So I know, okay, when I come back for my next circle, I'm just going to make sure to come at it a little bit wider and encourage him to stay off of the barrel and not lean on my leg. You'll notice that while I'm circling the barrel, my toe is pointed out and my leg is on him, and that's encouraging him to kind of keep bent around my leg and continue to follow his nose around the turn. And of course, we're going to do the same thing going the other direction. With Passport, because he is a little bit on the lazy side, I find sometimes when I'm counter arcing away, he just wants to slow down and walk, but I try to encourage to keep him trotting the whole time. You'll also see his head comes up a little bit here and there. So what I do in those situations is I make sure to just keep my hands steady. You also want to have some good balance on that outside rein. That's encouraging him to bring his head down, remember. So keeping my hands steady and allowing him to find his release by lowering his head is just kind of reiterating what we just did in the round pen. I also will do the same thing, and I will, instead of doing a counter arc away, I will do a figure eight. So that's going to do a circle away here, and then I'm going to come back to the barrel and switch directions like I just did there in a figure eight versus counter arcing and coming back to it. So Hot Sauce and Passport could not be more different. Hot Sauce is a lot more reactive and a lot more busy. He gets bored really easily as well. So I try not to do anything that gets too monotonous or repetitive with him. So you can see there, I'm going to ask him to stop and roll back into the fence. And you'll notice if you go back, I'll show you again here, that his head kind of comes up when I ask him to stop. I do keep my hands very quiet. What I do is I sit down, roll my hips back and say, whoa, and keep my hands in the same position, giving him the opportunity to stop before I start to pull back. And I usually will back him up if he doesn't stop right away. So keeping your hands steady and not yanking on him is going to allow him to realize, okay, when she says, whoa, that means I stop, and he's going to give to the pressure of my hands in time. Same thing like in the round pen. So if I maintain my hands staying steady, that's going to encourage him to drop his nose versus fighting me. But he does like to take his time with that. So he tries to fight first and see if it'll work, and it doesn't. So then eventually he will give to the pressure. All right, so here I'm going to actually end up going out of the screen, and what happens here is that he starts to drift very quickly towards the gate. He decided we were done, so I just cut straight across my circle and went in the exact opposite direction that he wanted to go to reiterate to him that, nope, sorry, we're not done, we're still working. So this was going to be my last stop here, but you can see he really fights me, and then he kind of turned like he wanted to roll back into the fence, and I usually stop him straight when we're done, so I said, okay, we're not done yet. Backed him up as straight as I could, rolled back to the fence again, and we're going to do one more, buddy. And then here I asked him to stop again, a little bit of a fight, but he gives to the bit there, and he backs up straight and doesn't try to turn into the fence on me, so then I decided, okay, good. Nice work, buddy. We are all done. And my little supervisor, yeah, I tie her up by the gate, and I'm hoping eventually I can just remove the string because I tell her to stay every time and then good stay and give her a treat after, right? Yeah. Mr. Claude and I, we did the 3-barrel drill today. So 3 barrels in a line, and this is kind of a popular one. I'll set my camera up for next week and show you guys.
Did you cut a toot? Fart?
Did you fart on your dad?
Did you fart? Kelly.
Well, this came in the mail, and I can tell you if it's coming from Hannah Beth, it's gonna be my new barrel racing planner. Ooh, this is so exciting. Look at how cute this box is. Oh, Hannah, you're the best. Oh, she's just the cutest. Oh. Ooh, oh, it's so cute. I love the roses. Ah. All right, now let's get back to some barrel racing so I can use this baby. All right, you can see on the insides, you can take the race name, your horse, the arena. Ugh, so much easier to keep track of all your times and your runs this way.
Well, again, thanks for watching, you guys. Some of you may know that I own Up Apparel company, and I've been waiting on my spring line very patiently. Unfortunately, with all the coronavirus things, I was supposed to have all my product in hand by the end of March, beginning of April. However, everything's been slowed down because of everything that's going on and all the shutdowns. But it sounds like they are starting to do a little bit of business where I get my product from, so I'm hoping that in the next few weeks I'll have some spring line products for you guys. I'm so excited about the new designs coming, but I'll keep you updated on that. In the meantime, I hope that you guys are staying safe and healthy, and I hope that we can get back to real life soon. So thanks so much for watching, you guys, and if you're enjoying my videos, please subscribe to my channel.